everybody, just want to start off the video with a really brief update. So episode 2 of the Railways of Cartoonia should be going up sometime in November. I'm planning to get the episode out first for my Patreon people over on October 27th, so if you want to go and catch that early at that date, then I'd suggest donating right now. You can do it as low as $1 a month because I'm a college student and I got textbooks to pay for. And I've also got a lot of stuff I want to do for Cartoonia. But anyways, on to the video. So back in August, we finally got the release of the great Thomas & Friends movie, Journey Beyond the Great Discovery of the Brave King of the Diesels, Magic Lost Treasure Rescue Mystery of the Rails begins! Calling all engines, and I actually kinda liked it. Sorry that this one ended up coming out so late, folks. I was kinda busy with Tilly to the Rescue when Sony Vegas ended up corrupting, so I haven't had much priority for this. And I also started college, which means I don't have much time to actually make videos at the moment. But I still am making videos, don't worry. But I ended up seeing the movie back in August when it first came out because I decided to blow $22 on a Thomas the Tank Engine movie, and I thought it was pretty enjoyable. Are there a lot of flaws with the movie? Yes. Are there a lot of things that I wish could have been done maybe a tiny bit better? Yes. Are there things that kind of detract from the experience of watching the movie? Not really on my end. If you're looking for a super critical review of the movie that tears everything wrong with it down to shreds, I'd recommend watching UnluckyTug's video. He did a good job talking about the flaws that I might be able to talk about. But apart from maybe the bouncing being handled really inconsistently, like, come on guys, choose a style you're going with. I wasn't as bothered by a lot of the issues that a lot of people were talking about. Like 6 years ago, we had balloons on flatbeds. I don't think you could top balloons on flatbeds in terms of worst things that could possibly happen to Thomas the Tank Engine. But enough about why I'm pretty much desensitized to any changes that happens to the show because I pretty much grew up in a time when everything was changing about the show every couple of years or so. Let's talk about the rest of the movie. I like how the movie was actually set on the mainland this time around instead of having most of it be set on Sodor and then just have one set show up and that's about it, or just have Thomas go to some random island that they can sell millions of toys of. The musical numbers were fun and enjoyable and kind of fit the mood of the scene they were trying to convey. Some of the sets look a bit rushed, which is kind of thanks to the whole Arc Productions bankruptcy that ended up happening, but a lot of the other aspects about the animation held up well, like the lighting and most of the character animation. And honestly, in terms of story and the newbies, this was probably the most natural we've gotten, which is really ironic considering some of the stuff they pull in the movie. What I basically mean is, instead of focusing on like 2 to 4 subplots in the same movie, they actually focus on just 2 plot lines around, which I really appreciate, and for the characters, all of them actually had personality, and not just have one of them be given personality while the rest basically have their intro feel really useless and just there for toys. I'm even shocked there was no huge playset moment in this. Like, I was expecting a whole bridge jump or Treasure Thomas scene in this, but nothing about it really stood out like, hey, you gotta buy the brand new toys from Toys R Us as seen on the movie. The closest I can really think of are Beresford's second scene and the climax, which even then are kind of tame compared to the other stunts they pulled for toys. I'm probably coming off as a little too positive towards the movie considering all the backlash it's kind of getting, but I'm sorry, I had a lot of fun watching the movie. It was a good watch, and it was really fun to rewatch multiple times. And really the only problems I have with the movie are the more chilled out versions of stuff that people have already been criticizing. But there was one huge problem I did have with the movie, in a way, and sadly kind of shows how skewered Mattel's priorities are right now. And that was the advertising and marketing campaign. I mean, not only did we end up with the bare minimum, a trailer, behind the scenes things, some clickbait for some articles, etc., but it doesn't really feel like the movie was being hyped up all that much. I knew it wasn't going to be as major as last year since The Great Race was just a giant overhyped marketing tool, but part of the fun of growing up with Thomas and kind of going into this field, advertising and marketing, is just seeing how these direct-to-video movies and specials get advertised, seeing all the different toys, the events, and all the other cool stuff that they do to promote it. But here, I don't even think that Tie-In Toys did a very good job with promoting the movie. I think that the only toy that actually had the Journey Beyond Sodor logo on it was like the Scrapyard Escape set, which even then looks kinda lame considering the usual tentpole sets that they advertise. And how come instead of releasing a character that's actually from the movie, we got a Steelworks Thomas that doesn't even look remotely close to what it's supposed to represent in the movie? I mean, yeah, she's coming out in January, but oh boy, I guess we had to put priorities towards another Thomas repaint that's just gonna clog the shelves for about a year. I'm guessing this probably happened because of the Mattel Creations formation, in which they were probably setting stuff up so they didn't really have much priority in putting all the marketing towards the Thomas movies and just put it towards the playsets that's actually gonna sell. Something made more obvious with how Bob the Builder Mega Machines ended up turning out, which has recently got confirmed for a US release. But it still kinda sucks to see these movies basically be dumped at random without any way of letting parents know, hey, we got brand new movies and specials coming out for your favorite shows, and new episodes might be coming out soon, here you go. And as someone who's pretty much been following these direct-to-video movies since they started doing them, this was just horribly handled and just kind of disappointing. Overall though, despite a pretty bad marketing campaign, Journey Beyond Sodor was still a pretty enjoyable watch. It's certainly not the best of these direct-to-DVD movies, but I don't think it was trying to be. It's becoming obvious to me that the show is becoming more what the fans want, and the movies are the big theatrical events that they're gonna try and hype up more either on DVD or internationally in theaters, so I wasn't really that bothered with it. I can't really comment much about the future for Thomas, considering we don't know that much about Season 22's Big World Big Adventures revamp, spin-off, whatever it's supposed to be, so I can't really say all that much, although I will admit Mattel is becoming a bit risky with some of these marketing decisions. But as long as Brenner's on board, I'm sure we can guarantee ourselves we're not gonna be going down certain sinkholes ever again. Seriously, this bothers you more than frickin' balloons on—
You can knock it, you can rock it, you can